Happy Friday, everybody. I hope this video finds you all safe and well. So we'll start this morning with the core practice. And dun, da, 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 I got our chime yesterday when I was able to go back to our classroom. So we'll have a better sound when we do our core practice today. So find a comfortable spot to sit, relax, close your eyes, and take deep breaths. All right, very good. All right, so today is a very special day of gratitude. Today is a very special day for one of our friends and our classmates. Um, our friend Bo, today is his adoption day. His adoption is going to be finalized today, and he gets to celebrate with his forever family. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I know you guys are too. So I thought maybe if you're watching this on Facebook, if you could put a little video or a comment down underneath this post to help celebrate and congratulate Bo on getting his forever family today. So I'm very grateful for that today, and it's a very happy day. So yay, Bo. All right. So we're going to finish up. We're going to start chapter 4 today, called The Invitation. And we were trying to predict yesterday what it could be an invitation for. So let's see if we can figure it out, if our predictions were right. One chilly late day in October, when rain was beginning to clog the gutters with leaves, Ramona came home alone because it was Daisy's day to see her orthodontist to have the bands on her teeth adjusted. She found her mother sitting on the chair, holding Roberta to her shoulder and patting her on the back. An almost empty bottle of formula stood on the lamp table. As Ramona pulled off her raincoat, she inspected a small bald spot on the back of Roberta's head, which at first had frightened Ramona because she thought Roberta was going bald like her dad. Mrs. Quimby had explained that many babies wore off their first hair and that it would soon grow back. And it was, to Ramona's relief. With her inspection out of the way, Ramona said as if she were making an important announcement, "Boys are just awful." "How so?" asked her mother as she patted the baby's back. "A couple of girls wore knit caps. Their mothers made them wear them, and the boys grabbed them and threw them into the boys' bathroom." Boys, at this moment, were very much disapproved of by Ramona. She who promised herself she would never, never wear a knit cap to school. "All boys?" Mrs. Quimby had the look of someone trying to hide a smile. "I can't imagine Howie doing such a dreadful thing." "Well, maybe not Howie." Ramona backed down, but soon flared up again. "Mother," she said sternly, "it's not funny. Boys are just awful." Ramona was a tiny bit annoyed with her mother for not getting upset over the awfulness of boys and for bringing up spelling. "I missed one word, project. I spelled it Prodject, which is the way it sounds." Discussion of Ramona's spelling came to an end because Beezus returned from school, dumped her armload of books on a chair, waved an envelope, obviously happy with whatever was in it, and said without bothering to take off her rain jacket, "Guess what?" "I can't imagine," said Mrs. Quimby. "You won $1,000,000?" said Ramona, glad to forget her spelling. "No, silly. Abby's having a party 2 weeks from tomorrow. She passed out the invitations today." "That's nice." Mrs. Quimby was still patting Roberta's back. "I don't think I know where Abby lives." "In one of those nice big houses the other side of the high school," Beezus explained. "Will her parents be home?" asked Mrs. Quimby. "Oh, Mom." Beezus was annoyed even though she was used to her mother's concern. "Yes, they will be home and all that stuff. I asked because I know how old-fashioned you are." Mrs. Quimby said, "Funny. I used to think my parents were old-fashioned too. Stuff, thought Ramona. Beezus said stuff, and Mother didn't say anything. Then, to avoid arguments between her mother and sister, she said, I hope you don't have to play pin the tail on the donkey. Of course not, silly. That's a game for little kids. Beezus spoke as if Ramona were still in kindergarten. Abby is inviting boys, and we're going to dance. Wow, said Ramona. But you don't know how to dance. Beezus seemed to wilt. At that moment, Roberta startled them with a noise, the sort of noise Mrs. Quimby called a bubble. Beezus and Ramona called it a burp. And Mr. Quimby, when he was being funny, a belch. A word his daughters disapproved of because it sounded too ugly for such a sweet baby. Good girl, crooned Mrs. Quimby. Roberta's sisters paid no attention. By now, they were used to Roberta. How can you dance if you don't know how? Asked Ramona. That's what's bothering me, admitted Beezus. Abby's mother made her take ballroom dancing lessons to help her be popular, and now she's giving this party to get her going on being popular. Maybe Abby can show me. Dancing can't be that hard, Ramona tried to cheer Beezus. I've seen it on TV. Kids just sort of wiggle around and wave their arms. Don't worry, your father will show you how, reassured Mrs. Quimby. Ramona thought about Howie and Yardape. She could not imagine them dancing. After the party invitation, telephone calls that were not about babysitting began to come for Beezus. Of course, Ramona listened to Beezus' half of the conversation, which involved which boys were invited, which boys might actually come, what to wear, and who said what to whose locker partner in the hall at school. Ramona wished she had a locker at school instead of a coat hook at the back of the classroom. Beezus even got to have a padlock on her locker. On Saturday afternoon, Beezus took her babysitting money out of the mug on her study table, and in spite of drizzling rain, set off to meet some friends at the shopping center. Au revoir, she said as she went out the door. Ramona was annoyed with her sister for not speaking plain English and for not asking her to come along. She tried to pass the time reading Mother Goose rhymes to Roberta because their mother had read a book that said babies should be read to as soon as they were born so they would grow up to be good readers. Ramona wasn't sure how this would work, but she enjoyed the rhymes and read with expression and dramatic gestures. Roberta seemed fascinated, especially with the three little kittens, which Ramona recited over and over until the baby fell asleep, and Mrs. Quimby carried her off to her crib. Not as much time had passed as Ramona hoped. Late in the day, when Mrs. Quimby was still trying to finish Moby Dick, Beezus came home carrying a plastic shopping bag and wearing a headscarf tied under her chin. That's funny, thought Ramona. Beezus always said headscarves are for old ladies or the Queen of England. Successful shopping trip? Mrs. Quimby barely raised her eyes from her book. The book club meeting was not far away. We'll stop there. And I'm wondering what that headscarf is all about. Why would Beezus be wearing that? Think about that this weekend, and we'll finish the chapter to find out what she might be trying to maybe hide. I don't know. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend and stay safe and healthy. And remember, it's Bo's special day today. So if you can make a comment or make a little video for him to show him how much we love him and are excited for him and his forever family. See you later.